Hey traders, in this lesson, we're going to talk about the RSI and how you can use it in conjunction with price action to help you get in and out of some of your trades. We'll see you in a second. Brilliant. So what we're first going to talk about is what the RSI is, and then we're going to pop it on the screen, and then we're going to see how we can actually use them in conjunction with some of our price action techniques. Okay. So first of all, the relative strength index is just a momentum oscillator. It's there just to show us where the momentum's coming in, and you shouldn't really use it solely. You need to use it in conjunction with many other things, because if the price is trending upwards, then the RSI can stay oversold or overbought, for a long time. Okay. You could even be in an upwards trend and price be oversold, and that is a good, in conjunction with the price action, is a good telltale that price may continue as well. So we're going to go through all of those different things right now. So all I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to pop a RSI on my screen. So relatively strength index, and I'm just going to change this slightly just so I can see it a little bit better. Now these are the default settings. Okay, so 14 is the amount of time that I actually want, or the amount of candles that I want to go over, and that is it. So here you have on the RSI, you have the range. The range is basically at the points, the percentage of where it's actually at. So you have the lower band, which is 30%, and the higher band, which is 70%, and all of these deviations outside of those areas are going to be some of our signals of overbought and oversold. Okay, overbought and oversold. Let's have a look. So a couple of the different ways that you can use the RSI is, first of all, divergences. So a divergence is basically when you're looking at price and it's doing something different from what the oscillator is actually doing. As you can see on price, we're having higher highs, but on the RSI, we're actually having higher lows. Now, for you, this may not say too much, but when you're actually coming into an area of supply, price coming in while it's diverging may actually give you a nice signal to actually sell. Now, you might not want to sell straight away. You might want to wait for a break of structure, a retest, and a continuation, something that has just happened very nicely right here. But it helps you start mapping out what you're actually looking at. Now, when we're looking at reactions or reversals, when price is going up, then we're obviously looking at the overbought. And when we're looking to get into a reversal when the price is down, then we're looking at the oversold areas. Okay. Now, the common mistakes that people make when they're actually looking at the RSI is they're using that solely as an indication of when to get in and out the market. And we can show that there are different ways, let's say for instance here, where just because the market was oversold, we may have had a 5-minute retracement, but straight away it was oversold. It got bought straight back up and price pushed on another 50 to 60 points. So you shouldn't use this solely. Now let's go through a couple of examples of where you could have used this, and then we'll do a replay and we can maybe do a little bit of back testing and see if we can catch any trades. Okay, so you can see here we had quite a neat impulse. Okay, you can also see that we've got a divergence again on this level. So if you remember from our previous videos, this level is a 4-hour level, and over the day you can see prices come up to this 4-hour level, but there is a divergence within the momentum indicator here. So we can see that even though that price is going up, the momentum of this move is actually getting less. So this is the first indication. So you've got one indication that we're starting to see divergence. We've got a second indication that we're coming up to a resistance level. So after something like that, we can probably go on to the 1 minute and let's see what is happening. This was probably a little bit of news though, so it might be a little bit difficult. Again, you can see here we've got another divergence on the 1 minute where somebody might have seen that price has tried to break this high. Maybe that was your entry level right there. Maybe let's say, for instance, you saw price pushed up, made a divergence, tried to break through, and then just smashed it down. Okay. Now, this is not the best example. And the reason why this is not the best example is because this was probably news. Okay. Let's have a look at the timing. There was probably news or something that made this impulse happen. So it would have been very difficult to actually have got that. But where we could have seen something more interesting is right here. So you can see here we've had an overbought area, and straight away we've had a push up. Now, these are 1 hour levels. So you can expect that price would have come into here and found support like it did. Now, this bit of price action, though, is the most interesting. And the reason why it's interesting is because even after this massive impulsive move, we've struggled to actually break this low right here. Okay. Now, what I'm seeing on the RSI is the RSI is actually making a divergence. Now, that in conjunction with the price action and that, there we can see that maybe this is going to be a nice buy opportunity. And depending on where you would want to go, especially on this time, this is London opening soon. This would be, a nice counter trend to take out all of these highs, which it did. Now, let's see if there's anything specific we'll go through. We'll do some live back testing on here so I can show you how I would use it. But that is basically it. Okay. So I'm going to go on to a replay. We're going to pick on a daily time frame right here. Okay. We're going to do this, and then we're going to pick. Now, what am I looking for if I'm doing my daily analysis? I can see that we've had a diversion in price here coming up to a level, a diversion in the RSI. So price is slowly coming down, but this is still bullish. And the reason why I say it's still bullish is because you have, price has got a low here, but it is the equal low to where price is at right now. But there is, on the oscillator, a lower low. So for me, even though that there's momentum that is coming down, all of these sell orders are getting absorbed. And that is quite interesting for me to see. So now I'm going to go on to a 1 hour. Let's see what we've got here. I've got all of my levels. Nothing too interesting right now. Obviously, we're coming to an area of demand. Nothing here is telling me that I want to buy. We're actually stuck in a range. So I'm just going to continue and seeing what we have soon. Okay, we're coming back down to this level right now, and we're starting to see support around this 1 hour level. So I'm actually going to go on to an intraday chart around about a 5 minute, and let's see what I can find here. So we've got a divergence here. We've come back onto this level. We found support. There's a lot of these highs right here. And the oscillator is moving up towards the overbought area as well. So I'm actually looking to buy. Now, the risk on this, I'm not going to be too bothered on it right now. We could just get in here, or we can wait for price to come back down to this level. But this is just as an example. So I'm actually looking to buy this, and I'm going to then put my take profit at that level there, and I'm going to put my stop loss. We can put it under this low on that level. Okay, this is just an example. Let's see what happens. Okay, there you go. So you've got one trade in the bag from that. Now price is still pushing up. We're gonna break, retest, continuation type of trade on this range. Let's see, what about if we get into another trade? Okay, is there any divergence on this? There is a little bit of divergence on this trade. but it's still not overbought. Okay, so let's just put another little bit in. Let's see if this gives us another trade right here. Okay. It's okay. It's taken us out now. Okay. So we're still a little bit of profits up. We're about 65 pence up. Let's see if we can find another one. Now, what happened with this trade? There you go. We've had price that has made an equal high, divergence on the RSI like that. So that should have been a telltale that maybe that price wasn't going to push up from this further. Okay. Let's keep going. Okay, so we come back into this area right now. Price, again, you've got a divergence. Should we buy this? Let's see if we get any type of reaction. It's good that we didn't. Here we go. So what have we got now? We've got divergence again on here. We've had equal lows, really. Okay, so prices come back down. It can't break underneath these lows. It's taken out all of those lows, all of the liquidity from that prior session. This is a really nice trade to be having. So we're going to go on the 5 minute and let's see if we can get into any specific trades. Do we see anything here? I think we are safe to go or buy on the level. We can do something like that. Stop loss underneath the low. Okay, this is a 1 to 2 risk to reward. Now maybe we can trail into profits. If that high gets taken, then we'll trail underneath that low. We've got divergence on here coming down to this low. So there could be a nice continuation trade. Maybe we can add a little bit more in there. Okay, this is a netting account, so it hasn't put the order there. It's just giving me my net position. So we did a little bit of adding. This is looking good. So now price is pushed up. It's broken above these highs right here. We've had a break, retest, continuation trade. I'm going to move my take profit now, my stop loss, sorry, underneath these lows. If price comes back to hit me to take out these lows, then I don't want to be in the trade. Okay, it's invalidated. The RSI, what is that doing to me? The RSI is just showing me that the momentum is still congruent to what the price action is showing me. Okay, you can see that right here. And there you go. That's a really, really, really nice trade right there. Okay. So that was a very, very basic idea of how to work with the RSI. Again, a couple of tips. Don't solely use the RSI as a buy and sell signal. Okay. It needs to be used together with price action and levels. Okay. Supply, demand, support, resistance, fibs, whatever. When you use those, a kind of holistic view, then you can start using them and getting into trades, okay? Go into our other videos and take a look at some of the support and resistance series. I'm going to also put up a video on market structure because that is super important. What you've seen now is a good understanding of market structure, how market structure is used while we're looking at an oscillator or while we're looking at support and resistance. Super, super important. And that's it. If you feel ready, you can then jump into one of our evaluations and see if you are ready to actually get funded. But until then, see you later.